AI has opened up one of the biggest opportunities for our careers. While some people may see AI as a threat because it does have an impact on how we work, but at the same time, it also creates a great chance to redesign our roles, hands off those tedious work tasks, and double down on the strategic thinking that creates real impact. So in this video, I want to share the practical AI skills that you need in order to capture these opportunities, differentiate yourself more in the disruptive workplace with AI, and maximize your professional growth. Before I go through the skills, let's quickly understand the 3 common types of AI you will encounter at work. First, standalone AI chatbots like ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, Grok. They fit for most of the general work tasks. Basically, you open the app and ask it for all sorts of tasks through chatting. And second, integrate AI features that build into the apps you already use at work. For example, Gemini in Gmail, where you can open up and start chatting, or Copilot in Microsoft Office. And third, specialized AI solutions. So these are custom tools built for specific tasks. For example, Grammarly for writing, Descript for video editing. So once you understand these different types of AI, you can strategically apply the skills I'm going to share, starting with the most fundamental one, AI prompting. Prompt engineering sounds technical, but basically it's really about how you communicate with AI. Imagine you're working with a new intern, how you would communicate with a new hire to make sure he gets it. I know there are lots of prompting frameworks, formulas, but personally I don't recommend using them or following them strictly, as it often complicates prompting and over-engineer the process, especially when AI is getting more intelligence. And I truly believe effective prompting is only about 2 things: clear thinking and clear communication. If you really know what you want, and you can also communicate clearly to LLM. So few key principles here. First, be clear and specific with instruction. Keep it concise and easy to understand instruction. One tip is using more action verbs like visualize, analyze, generate, summarize. Always directly state your end goal instead of some vague prompts. And second, always provide quality context and don't get lazy, because if you give average input, you will always get average output. Context can be things like important background details, examples, constraints, output formats, and never assume AI knows everything. The output quality will be massively improved immediately if you always give more details. If you don't even know what context to give, my favorite way is to actually ask AI to suggest what are the important contexts it should have in order to perform the task. You can use one-shot prompting techniques that includes only one example, or few-shot prompting, where multiple examples are provided. These are also what I found will make a huge difference versus those prompting frameworks. And most frameworks say you need to give AI a role, but from my experience and research, role prompting won't always improve output quality. I encourage you to watch this video to learn more. Another big tip is to also understand the type of tasks. Sometimes you want AI to free-flow more creative ideas, then you don't want to give it too many constraints or examples. While for straightforward execution type of tasks, you want it to follow the instructions step by step, then it's another story. So now you know those prompting frameworks or formulas. It's just a starting point, but as you gain more prompting experience, you should develop your own thinking approach to work with this AI. The next skills, AI-assisted content creation. AI can be a great help in all sorts of content ideation and creation. Tags, images, videos, it covers everything from emails, presentations, to meeting materials and team communication. So mastering this area will already put you ahead of most people. For example, you can ask ChatGPT to draft social media posts, meeting agenda, Gemini to create slides within Google Slides, or generate meeting summaries after the call. If you need to generate images, you can use Bing Image Generator. ChatGPT, Copilot, Gemini, they all provide image generation capability, which you can use for work. You can even generate professional videos using Veo 3 or Sora. Or if you need specialized AI content creation tool, you can use tools like Gamma to make beautiful presentations quickly, or Grammarly that helps to adjust the content clarity and tone. Basically, you should have these 3 layers when using AI for content creation or communication. Layer 1, speed. Let AI generate your first draft or propose ideas quickly with given context. Instead of starting at a blank email, ask it to draft an email for you about a specific project. AI can give you structure and content instantly. And layer 2, style. add your voice. AI doesn't know your preferred tone or how this content will have any consequence for your team. So you can ask it to follow your tone, your preferred language, or consider relationship-specific details. Layer 3. Quality check. Use AI as your feedback loop and optimize the content output. For example, give it your presentations for an important meeting and ask how might my stakeholders interpret this? What concern will this raise? So AI can spot potential areas you might have missed and suggest improvement for your content. So using these 3 layers will always maximize your impact for AI-assisted content creation at work. And that leads into the next skills, AI-powered business intelligence or data literacy with LLM. The next-gen workplace needs more storytellers, and not only someone can report the data, but be able to find connections and make strategic decisions. So using AI for data storytelling is a very impactful skill that differentiate yourself at work, and there are 3 areas to focus. First, data organization. Use AI to turn any messy or unstructured data into analyzable and structured formats like comments, social posts, emails, customer feedback. For example, if you're doing audience research by analyzing comments and reviews, you can ask Gemini to clean this data and organize it into a structured table or even export it into a CSV file for further analysis. And second, context enhancement. AI can cross-reference and fill gaps, so you can also use AI to append additional information to existing data to make it more complete. For example, take your meeting attendee list and ask AI to add each person's department and role to the list based on the company's directory. So now the dataset will become more meaningful. And third, pattern recognitions and visualization. Not only cleaning data, but also knowing how to use AI to identify trends and get insights faster, and even present them with visual storytelling. For example, on Gemini, you can give it a large dataset and ask it to extract insights and even generate beautiful visualization where you can share with teammates. And my tip is always get it clear about the core business question you want to answer. It's a common mistake to start with the dataset and ask AI to find insights without knowing your business question. And same case for visualization. Use AI to tell a clear story with visuals instead of just asking it to create a chart of our sales data. Ask it to visualize the sales growth over the past year with any specific focus and any emphasis to tell the story better. The next skills, AI-powered research. Most of us need to do research for work, client projects, new product launches, market analysis. So knowing how to better use AI for research will give you a huge advantage. For everyday research needs, there are different AI search engines you can use like Perplexity, ChatGPT, Google AI Mo, Grok, DeepSeek, Fellow. And my tip is always be specific in your search queries with context and leverage different search operators for more source control. For example, I can use the file type operator in my query to only get results that are in PDF formats, or the site operators to only focus on certain website sources. I covered this in details in my past video, so go check it out. As for more in-depth research, you can also use deep research from Gemini, ChatGPT, or Perplexity, or using Notebook LLM that helps to synthesize information across your chosen source only. When doing this kind of deep research, the research plan is the most important. Although these deep research tools will automatically generate a research plan for you, but if you want to have the biggest quality control, our tip is to use reasoning model to first generate a research plan to give you directions before you even pass to these deep research tools. Or you can run the same research plan on multiple tools to get more perspective. And if you need sources specifically about academic research or literature review, you can use tools like Elicit or ResearchRabbit, which are more specialized AI research tools. But note, these tools might have different emphasis on the sources. For example, Google Gemini always prefers sources from bigger brands. It also has good academic sources from Google Scholar, while Perplexity has better source variety generally. Or Grok if you want to do research using X platform as the main sources. So you have to try them all to see which would better suit your research needs. Another tip is to do verification. Never use a statistic quote from an AI without verifying yourself. On top, you can explicitly ask AI to provide sources for the specific claims or the original source for that exact quote. Or you can bulk import all the sources to Noble LM and double confirm yourself. Once you master these skills, that leads into the next, skills to build AI-assisted workflow automation or even AI agents to do part of your work. When I say build, it's not about coding, software development, but more about establishing a standard workflow using your system thinking. Most people just jump to the building or configuration part, but the process planning is the most important. So first step is to map out your workflow. If I want to automate my social post creation process, how does the process look like? You can even ask AI to propose workflow details for you as a starting point for your task goal. And always start with just one low-risk recurring task you do often and automate it completely before moving on to the next. Don't try to automate everything at once. And whether to use an AI automation workflow or an AI agent really depends on your task complexity and how much control you can give. AI agents have a high level of autonomy, but the risk is also higher because there are no predefined steps and they require more humans in the loop. So I always recommend mastering AI automation first before you consider using an AI agent unless it's a low-risk task. Check out this video for more. And there are different no-code AI automation building platforms. Some popular ones like Zapier, Make.com, NXN, and I would say Zapier is more suitable for non-technicals because of its visual editor with lots of ready built-in integration options. You can just drag and drop, add every step details for workflows and ask it to execute. For example, if you want to build an email management workflow, you can just define the step or path involved and it will handle. For NXN and Make.com, it's still very user-friendly and no-code, but since it's highly customizable, it might still feel a bit overwhelming when first started. And because it's so flexible, you can build any customized workflow that you want. For example, I can build a YouTube comment analyzer as part of the content research process. As for AI agents, all these platforms allows you to build your own AI agents, but if you don't want to build yourself, you can also use some ready-to-use general-purpose AI agent solutions like Manus, GenSpark, ChatGPT operator, cloud computer use. These agent solutions like your super assistant that execute different low-risk tasks like research, browse website to even building tools for you. So what's more important is your process thinking skills and logical design. Spend more time planning the automation process so you can transform that into any of these platforms. The next skills, AI-enhanced decision making. This is one of the most valuable AI skills that most people miss, and this will move your value from doing to directing. That means not only use AI to find insights faster, but be your thinking partner, helping you to make more informed decisions. And to excel in these areas, there are two core strategies. First, prepare quality context in a structured way. You probably know giving context to AI is important, but what's more important is how you structure this process. Most of the strategy work mainly falls into three categories: business growth focus, operations and process focus, or product and innovation focus. So think about what kinds of decision making you always need help at work and to prepare what I call a project background file to load these quality contexts to AI. For example, for operation and process type of decision making, your project background file can include context like current system and tools, existing process and workflows, resource allocation, etc. And second, ask more strategic questions. Instead of simply asking AI for recommendations for decision making, use it to challenge your thinking. For example, if I am a hiring manager asking AI to decide between two potential candidates for my new hire, instead of asking which candidates do you recommend me to consider, you can ask what are the hidden costs or missed opportunities of choosing candidate A over candidate B, or what are some important factors I might not be considering in this hiring decision. So don't just ask for answers, but instead ask for different perspectives to challenge your decision-making rationale and use your own judgment to make the final call. AI amplifies your capabilities, but your judgment amplifies the impact. So to stand out at work, measure your success not by your technical skills with the tools, but by the quality of the outcome and decisions you make with it. Join my community to get more inspiration on how to use AI more strategically for your business or marketing. You will get access to all my prompts I share on my channel and other feature content. You can find the link in the description to join. And before you go, I recommend you watch this video about the human-centric skills that will make you stay relevant even when AI is here. I will see you next time.